first, we're just going to talk about circles in general. All right. Here we go. I have a circle. Okay? Now, there's some vocabulary that goes along with this section. Some of the words that you're going to see is diameter. Okay? What the diameter means is, think about the center of the circle. Okay? The diameter is a line that passes from one side through the center of the circle to the other line. Okay? So or to the other side. So basically, it cuts your circle in half. That is a diameter. You could have all kinds of diameters. Okay? Bottom line, it just cuts your circle in half. All right, so that is a diameter. The next word we'll talk about is radius. Okay, so we got our circle, got our little center. Okay, the radius is find the center of your circle and then just go out to one of the sides of the circle. Okay, so if you think about it, radius is what of the diameter? It's half, right? Here's the diameter. Okay, here's from there to there. That's the radius. Okay, so this is the radius, or you may see radii. That's plural. So radius. Okay, another word you're going to come across is a chord. Okay, and what a chord is any line on a circle that starts on the outside or on one side and then connects to the other. Okay, that's a chord. That's a chord. That's a chord, okay? Just they have a line whose two endpoints are on the outside of the circle. Okay, so think about that. Is a radius a chord? No, because a radius has one endpoint on the outside of the circle, but the other one is not. Okay, is a diameter a chord? Yeah, here's its endpoint on the outside. Yeah, okay, so that's what a chord is. All right, so that's some vocabulary in terms of circles. All right, now we're going to talk about how to find the circumference of a circle. Oh, wow, that's an awful circle. Circumference is basically the perimeter, okay? It's just the name that goes with circles, the perimeter of a circle. All right, so, with squares and rectangles, you knew, okay, just add up all the sides. Okay, well, a circle is a little different because there's no straight sides, okay? So in order to find the perimeter or the circumference of a circle, we use a formula. Again, lots of formulas in this chapter, okay? And the formula is circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, okay? Now, I will say in this, pi is a special number, okay? It really only applies to circles, okay? And pretty much how they came up with pi, it's this magical number that someone or some smart guy a long, long time ago came up with. And how he did it is he found the circumference of the circle, and then he found what the diameter was, and he divided the circumference by the diameter, and he got this 3.14, blah, blah, blah. It goes on forever, okay? But for our purposes, we're just using 3.14 for pi, okay? Does not matter the size of the circle. But bottom line, if you measure the outside of the circle, divide it by the distance across, you're going to get this 3.14. That's where pi came from. So the formula for finding the circumference of the circle is they're probably going to give you the diameter, okay? The diameter is 4, okay? What's the circumference? Well, using my formula, the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, okay? So the diameter is 4. So remember, pi is 3.14, okay? That's just something you're going to have to memorize. Okay, so I'm going to do 3.14 times 4. Okay, so the circumference, the distance around the circle, is 12.56. Okay, now they may give you an instance where they won't give you the diameter. They'll give you the radius. Okay, they'll say, okay, the radius is 10. What's the circumference? Okay, well, what do we have to do? We can't just plug in 10 for the diameter because 10 is not the diameter. It's the radius, okay? So if 10 is the radius, what is the diameter? Okay, remember, radius is 1/2 the diameter, so the diameter would have to be 20, okay? So we'd use 20 in our equation. So we'll do pi times 20, and it's going to get you like 600 or 60, I don't know, 60, I don't know. I'm trying to do it in my head and I can't. But anyways, you multiply pi times 20, boom, you got your circumference. All right, what happens if they give you, what would happen if they gave you the circumference? So they say their circumference is 314. Okay, 314. What is my diameter? Well, okay, we have to approach this a little bit differently. Okay, the circumference, I'm trying to get that glare. Oh, that made it worse. I don't know. Okay, you guys can see that's a C. All right, so in this case, we've got 314 as my circumference, and the diameter is what we don't know. Well, just think about it. We can use algebra. Okay, 314 is equal to, well, 3.14, that's pi, times d. Okay, well, you should know from algebra, how do I solve for d? D is our unknown, we need to solve for d. Okay, that is going to be, well, remember we divide by 3.14 to make it go away there, so we have to divide this by 3.14, and I should get 100. Okay, so my diameter would have to be 100. Okay, so they may give you the diameter, they may give you the radius, they may give you the circumference, but as long as you use this formula, you should be able to figure out any of those other three things. All right, so that is circles and circumference. Good luck.